Hi, it's Sonia and welcome to the Joy of Drawing and Art in 10 Minutes series. This is a little idea of mine. So once a week I'm hoping to make a video and show in real time a piece of art that I make in 10 minutes. To begin with, just to start off the video, I'll try and share, in case you want to join in, the materials that I'm going to be using, the concept, and then we'll just get on with doing the art. And the reason for this is I do believe, I know a lot of the time people want to make more art, maybe even make art daily, and one of the things that can be off-putting is finding the time for it or coming up with some quick ideas. So the point is, you can sometimes, if you keep it simple, have a few limitations. It just makes it easier to also loosen up and to fit it into your day. Okay, so my idea for this session, this is going to be landscape. It's going to be primarily using, I've got one Neocolor 2 crayon, which is a water soluble crayon, but you can also use pencil, coloured pencil maybe, or any crayons you have. Just to say I've sharpened this one, I just wanted to quickly share this tip. I think I got it off someone else on YouTube, but if you can keep the shavings and then mix it with water, so then you can, you're not going to waste the shavings. It can become a sort of an opaque gouache or opaque paint that can be used later on. But I do quite like having a sharp point for drawing with these. So I've decided to redo, this is a little sketchbook, which is my out and about sketchbook. This morning I went for a run, and in preparation for this session I was saying, can I just sketch landscapes? And also because I'm going to be doing some urban sketching sessions, hopefully with the Joy of Drawing. And I just wanted to test myself. I didn't actually have, I had like 3 or 4 pencils, not a huge amount in my pencil case. So the idea being just to get really quick sketches from a scene, and I'll try and also show a photo of this scene as well, though my sketchbook is right in the middle of it and it's blurred. But you know what, that's great. My advice for you, if you're doing this at home, obviously, well, if you've got the video on, use a photo that isn't too detailed. Choose a landscape or scene that, you don't want anything with too many buildings or anything too complicated if this is, you're just getting sort of started with very quick sketching. So I've got a timer here, and in a minute I'm going to start it, and it will give me, so I'll have 10 minutes to make this quick watercolor and crayon study. And let's just start it now and get going. Okay, so I'm going to use my sketch also in some ways to keep the sketch looser, and maybe try and keep, I do like, one of the advantages of going outside to sketch quickly is I feel you are forced, in a way, if you don't have long, to work extremely quickly. So sometimes there's a real spontaneity to these kinds of sketchbook sketches. I don't want to get too detailed. There's sort of grasses here. I sort of crouched down, looking over there's another road here as well. It's a bit tricky because this is a 7x5 piece of watercolor paper I've cut out for myself. One of my, the reason I'm doing this on paper and not in a sketchbook is actually one of my goals with this is maybe to get outside the sketchbook a bit and make some smaller, quick paintings again, which are quite fun. Because then you can put them up on your mantelpiece. Another tip is if you're going in with watercolour first and you don't love what you do, which often happens to some of us as artists, then you can also recycle the paper. I often reuse watercolour paper. I'll go over the top with gesso or acrylic paint, and then you can, reuse this watercolour paper again. So this was a lovely big tree here. My clock, I'm just going to turn my scene. So you want to work quite quickly. And here, the other thing to stress is the goal of this series is not that we're encouraging that in 10 minutes you can make very finished or great compositions. It's about just making and sort of reducing expectations, really. I think the most fun will come from this if you approach it in just getting down to the achievement of sitting down, getting your art stuff out. Again, why I would say limit your materials to simple, don't go, because that's often can be a put you off as well if you're having to go and grab a complicated range of materials. So use what you have, limit the colours a bit. I mean, another fun exercise that we could do is when you just paint with one colour. Because you're still making a drawing, you still can make a scene. I mean, I could just, to be honest with you, I could just go heavy with the drawing, use a bit of paint, and you've got this lovely, just use this. But for this purpose, I really want to get my watercolours out. Okay, I think that's enough drawing for me. I feel like I've sort of got the bones of this scene. You might want some test paper. Card here, let's use this test paper. Now, it was a grey day, so I want to make, I'm going to be honest to the fact, and the fun, this is the other fun thing I could have done. I could have used a wax crayon, a Neo Colour 1, and then, yeah, that would have been sort of wax resist going down in this little quick sketch. But to be honest with you, I wanted the water soluble crayon because I actually want to see what happens if this blue comes into. So what I can do is, it's going to be really accidental. And for me, my purposes are to try and get some of this, the really loose, because that was, some of these sketches are super quick, they're less than 10 minutes. I want to get the super, where am I with time? Wow, got 6 minutes. The super spontaneous effects and the accidents within these little works on paper. Okay, where am I? I'm gonna add some. You can tell, all right, this palette is terribly dirty, but I would also advise, if you haven't got much time in your day and you're fitting this into your lunch break, or when your kids having a nap, then just get going. That was the one thing, if anybody wants to know why I work so quickly, it's because as the kids got older and they didn't nap, or I just wanted to get going. I didn't really, if I spent too long getting all my materials out, they'd be awake. It's going to be quite interesting colour-wise. I really want to get here, there were some really bright greens. So, sort of, as you can see, I'm not a traditional watercolorist, I've got to be honest with you. I tend to use, just quickly, gouache. This is the same scene but with gouache, and obviously that took me a lot longer. So yeah, I do tend to go a little bit heavy and probably more, maybe that would be a challenge for myself, go really delicate with it. But I do prefer it when I'm using these sort of watercolours in a more loose, impressionistic and what's the word, pigmented way. I like, now this clock is in the way of my picture. Yeah, so it's obviously the drawing where I'm going over. I want to keep some of the white, if that makes sense. Now there was a road here, so I need a little bit of grey. My sketchbook is actually covering up. So obviously the photo that I'm sort of glancing at for colour reference is different. I'm using this is sort of the composition, but I have to change it a bit because obviously the perspective, it's a wider piece of paper, but that's fine. I think the other fun thing you learn to do is, what's the time? 3 minutes, is you get to be a bit braver in playing about with references, and especially drawing from a sketch like this, you can have heaps of fun because there's not even, if you're just using your memory for colour, which I have done in the past, you get some really interesting results because you're not tied down to worrying about mixing exactly the right shade. So yeah, this is the fun of 10 minutes and limitations. It's nothing new. I know a lot of artists and educators talk about, really, if you want to sort of loosen up. Also, I think sometimes there's we often get tired of decision making, don't we? So if you don't have to make too many decisions while you're painting because you've sort of pre-made them, or you just haven't got many colours or a very detailed sketch, you can't get to sort of procrastinating, sort of like umming and ahhing over where you're going to put something. Okay, one thing I do want to get into, this is actually kind of nice, I kind of like it. I've got 2 minutes left, so I'm going to be careful not to overdo it, because yeah, okay, one big tip for this series, I don't know if I talked about it, I don't think I did, is maybe think about keeping it small. There's a time for, I want that colour, sort of like there's some hills in the background. They're always sort of like purpley. I would advise for this series using small, like little small sketchbooks. Probably I wouldn't go any bigger than this size. I think in 10 minutes, you're going to be very lucky if you can, you know, there's a time and place for big sketchbooks, don't get me wrong. But I think to feel a sense of achievement, this is kind of a nice size that I feel, I've got 1.5 minutes left, I can get something down. Okay, I need to shut the clock quickly because I want to just look at, I want to have some browns, blacky browns. I think I'm just going to add in tree, and also using one brush. I've chosen a nice size flat for me, but next time maybe I'll use a round. One size brush, 50 seconds, no pressure. I don't want to lose. How's that? And that around there, 30 seconds. I want a little bit. I really love, we've got these blooms, haven't we? Which is the joy, which is the, well, I do love watercolour as well. I am wanting myself to experiment more. And then I forgot to put the, I forgot time, I've got 21 seconds. I want that to be a little bit red. No, maybe a little bit of blue. I think I'm gonna run out of time. This could be a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, I did what I did. Okay, that is 4, it's counting down, it's gonna go off in a minute. My sort of, there we go, that's telling me it's done. Okay, so that was 10 minutes and I have got a really, really quick landscape watercolour and crayon sketch basically from a sketch in a sketchbook, but I have used, I mean, I can, you know, remember the colours. I was there this morning and yes, you know, obviously use photo references, whatever's going to enable you to quickly get a landscape down. This is an opportunity to practice quick drawing, loosening up, which if you're doing at home may also help you if you are wanting to get outside this year more and do urban sketching, because it's like you're timing yourself, you're practicing, because often when we are out and about we might not have a long time to sketch. And I managed to spill, never mind, water on that. Okay, I hope this video was fun and encouraging, and hopefully there'll be, yeah, as I say, it's going to be a series of, I don't know, I'm planning making 4 to 6 of these, 10 minutes. So yeah, please do join me next week and thank you for watching.